Hello and welcome to Mangum News. I'm your host, Elijah Mangum. This week we'll be discussing Elon Musk officially buying Twitter, Paul Pelosi attacked, Governor Tate Reeves calling for a special legislative session, a breakdown of all the key races in the upcoming midterm elections, and/or episode 9, Florence facing South Jones at South Jones, my weekly weather report, and my exclusive interview with Mississippi Secretary of State Michael Watson. Without further ado, let's begin. Despite Elon Musk initially pulling out of his deal to buy Twitter, he re-entered the deal and officially closed on Wednesday, October 27th. Musk immediately fired the company's top executives and reinstated former President Donald J. Trump to the platform on Tuesday. The husband of Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, Paul Pelosi, was attacked in his San Francisco home Thursday morning. David DePape allegedly broke into the house in his underwear and woke Pelosi, who was sleeping, demanding to speak to Nancy. The Speaker of the House was not home at the time, as she was in Washington, D.C. When San Francisco PD arrived, Pelosi and DePape were struggling over a hammer. DePape struck Pelosi with the hammer and was arrested.
When you take a hammer to somebody's head in that violent of a fashion, we believe you're trying to kill them.
Pelosi underwent a surgery to treat a skull fracture, and Speaker Pelosi returned home to be with her husband. Following his early vote in the midterm elections, President Joe Biden gave his comments on the incident.
You can't just say, I feel badly about the violence. We condemn it. Condemn what produces the violence.
Governor Tate Reeves called for a special legislative session on Monday regarding a $2.5 billion economic development project, the largest in Mississippi history.
They tell me I'm bound to secrecy, but they didn't ever tell me the exact name of the company. We are very excited about this project. $2.5 billion project doesn't come to Mississippi very often, but you'll see it coming more often. The state is open for business.
According to Governor Reeves, the project, an aluminum mill in Columbus, will create 1,000 new jobs with a $93,000 average annual salary. On Wednesday, the legislature voted to approve the project. Congressional and gubernatorial elections will be held across the nation on Tuesday. All 435 House congressional seats are up for election. Mississippi has 4 of those House seats. In the 1st Congressional District, Republican Congressman Trent Kelly will face Democrat hair salon owner Diane Black. In the 2nd Congressional District, Democrat Congressman Benny Thompson will have a rematch with Republican Brian Flowers. In the 3rd Congressional District, Republican Congressman Michael Guest will face Democrat Sawaski Young. Finally, in the 4th Congressional District, Jackson County Sheriff Mikey Zell will face former Hattiesburg Mayor Johnny Dupree. 34 of the 100 Senate seats are up for election as well. Here are some of the most talked about and competitive races in the Senate. In Arizona, incumbent Democrat Mark Kelly will face Republican businessman and author Blake Masters. In Florida, Republican incumbent Senator Marco Rubio will face incumbent Democrat Congresswoman Val Demings. Incumbent Democrat Raphael Warnock will face Republican professional football player Herschel Walker for a full term in office. In Ohio, Republican author J.D. Vance will face incumbent Democrat Congressman Tim Ryan. In Pennsylvania, Republican television personality Dr. Oz will face Democrat incumbent in Pennsylvania Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman. Finally, there are 36 gubernatorial and statewide elections taking place. In Arizona, Republican former Fox 10 news anchor in Phoenix, Kari Lake, will face incumbent Arizona Secretary of State Katie Hobbs. In Arkansas, Republican former White House press secretary from the Trump administration and daughter of former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, will face Democrat Chris Jones. In Florida, incumbent Republican Ron DeSantis will face incumbent Democrat Congressman Charlie Crist. In Georgia, incumbent Republican Brian Kemp will have a rematch with former Georgia State Representative Stacey Abrams. In Michigan, incumbent Democrat Governor Gretchen Whitmer will face Republican commentator Tudor Dixon. In New York, incumbent Democrat Governor Kathy Hochul will face Republican incumbent Congressman Lee Zeldin. In Texas, Republican incumbent Greg Abbott is running for a third term against former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke. While Andor Episode 9 continues to lack in action sequences, the story, acting, and production value is so great that it becomes less of an issue as each episode goes by. Overall, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Florence defeated South Jones 28-13 on Friday at South Jones. Next week, Florence will face Natchez at home. Thursday will be sunny with a high of 82 and a low of 58. Friday will be sunny with a high of 84 and a low of 64. Saturday will have a 60% chance of scattered thunderstorms with a high of 74 and a low of 60. Sunday will be sunny with a high of 76 and a low of 62. Also make sure to set your clocks back that day when daylight saving times ends. Monday will be sunny with a high of 82 and a low of 60. Election day on Tuesday will have a high of 82 and a low of 58. And finally, Wednesday will have a high of 78 and a low of 58. Can you kind of discuss some measures that your office is taking to ensure election integrity?
Yeah, so look, we saw 2020 election. A lot of people have questions, and I think it's been really important for us to emphasize the things that we're doing in Mississippi. Have all the faith in the world of the elections outcomes here in Mississippi. We've done a really good job of meeting with our circuit clerks and our elections commissioners. You may have seen we're doing an 82 county tour. So I've been to 79 of the 82 counties. Having those relationships and being able to talk to our circuit clerks and our elections commissioners is really important to have a cohesive unit moving forward with election integrity. We just got back a clean bill of health with our PIN testing. So that's penetration testing on our system here. Many people don't know we house the statewide election management system, SIMS. So all of your election data is housed here at the Secretary of State's office. So making sure that our cybersecurity team is up to speed and having all the tools that they need is something that's very important to us. So we just got a clean bill of health last week. So we're really excited about that moving forward to November 8th. We've also done some measures across the street with the legislature. One of the things I talked about on the campaign trail back in 19 was making sure only United States citizens are voting in our elections. We finally got a piece of legislation passed this past session, making sure that we're moving in the right direction with that program. So we're excited about it. We've got new voting machines coming to all Mississippi counties. The law says by 2024, they have to have the new paper verifiable trails with their equipment, and they cannot connect to the internet. So that's another couple of measures that we're working on. And again, I can't overemphasize the communication with CISA, with DHS, with FBI, with the National Guard here in Mississippi, with other law enforcement units around our state, making sure we have a cohesive unit on elections moving forward on election day. So that's really important to us as well.
Can you describe what other services your office provides?
Yeah, I'll give you the elevator speech but the office is so big that people don't really realize how much goes on in the Secretary of State's office. So we've got kind of three main areas in which we work. Number one, elections, obviously the face of the office. But what I would encourage folks to understand about elections is Mississippi is what's known as a bottom-up state, meaning the hard work is really done at the local level with our circuit clerks and our elections commissioners, which was why it was really important for us to spend time going to their offices, building those relationships, because we're not always going to agree. But if we can build relationships, it's much easier to have those hard conversations. So it's kind of elections. I told you a little bit about the statewide election management system, some other things that we do in elections. The breadth of the office really comes in with business services. So if you've got an LLC, a nonprofit, a corporation, a charity, a securities, any kind of issues like that, scrap metal dealers, athlete agents, perpetual care cemeteries, that list goes on and on and on. All of those business forms have to register with us here at the Secretary of State's office. We also oversee the Administrative Procedures Act, so rules and regs dealing with businesses in Mississippi as well. So that's kind of the business services sector, really big piece of what we do here in the office. And then lastly, public lands. So 16th section lands, which help fund public education, tidelands along the coast, and then tax forfeited properties. In Mississippi, we also, several years ago, the legislature named the Secretary of State as a state land commissioner. So we're doing a lot of work with conservation. As a matter of fact, I've got a conservation task force meeting this afternoon at 2, focusing on our timber industry. So we're looking all across the state of Mississippi, making sure we're conserving the resources that the Lord has blessed us with. So a lot of things going on in our office, but that's kind of a quick umbrella coverage of what we do here in the Secretary of State's office.
That's all we have for this week. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all on Thursday.